Hello there, this is Todd from the Scoundrels Cantina, and welcome to another episode of a Star Wars story. In this video, we'll be telling you the story of the ancient Dark Lord of the Sith, Marka Ragnos, who is most notably seen in the Tales of the Jedi comics as well as mentioned throughout the Old Republic era, mostly in Knights of the Old Republic and the Old Republic games. As always, we're mixing the expanded universe and canon because we believe that there's no reason why most of it can't fit together, but only before Return of the Jedi. So anyway, let's do it. Marka Ragnos was a Force-sensitive Sith-human hybrid born prior to 5,100 years before the Battle of Yavin and a direct descendant of a Dark Jedi who had fled the Republic around the time of the 100-Year Darkness almost 2,000 years earlier. He would eventually become a feared Sith Lord in the old Sith Empire, and when a reigning Dark Lord of the Sith had died, Ragnos and another Sith called Simus rose up to take the mantle. The two Sith Lords would end up dueling, and due to Ragnos' skill, Simus eventually had his head cut off, but chose to continue living as a head by using long-forgotten Sith magic. As Marka Ragnos gained the mantle of Dark Lord of the Sith, he led ruthless campaigns against all enemies of the Sith, and his iron-fisted rule lasted for over a century. He was considered as one of the most powerful Force users in Sith and Jedi history that led the Sith Empire into a golden age of their existence. During his rule, he created a scepter capable of siphoning the Force from Force-strong places and using its power, as well as designing a pair of gauntlets capable of augmenting the strength of a Force user. Years later, Ragnos encountered a young 13-year-old boy called Tenebrae, whose raw power impressed him so much that he made him the ruler of the planet Madrias and bestowed upon him the rank of Sith Lord and the name Vitiate. This boy would eventually become one of the most powerful beings in the galaxy. In 5000 BBY, Marka Ragnos passed away, which marked the end of the golden age of the Sith Empire.
Ragnos held power for over a century, using his cunning to turn his enemies against each other. His death left a great vacuum of power.
During his funeral on Korriban, the rivaling Sith Lords Naga Sadow and Ludo Kresh would engage each other in a duel with Sith Force-imbued swords in order to attain the mantle of the new Dark Lord of the Sith. During their duel, the incredibly powerful Force spirit of Marka Ragnos appeared before them, speaking of a great past and an uncertain future for the Sith Empire, proclaiming that only the most worthy would succeed him.
We're standing close to the spot where Naga Sadow first confronted Ludo Kresh to vie for domination of the Sith. Their struggle nearly resulted in a civil war that would have torn the Sith apart before they ever threatened the Republic.
Eventually, Naga Sadow would do what it takes and was elected as the new Dark Lord of the Sith. While all this was playing out, Vitiate simply stayed hidden and waited for the right time to enact his plans. Marka Ragnos would live long after his death as a Force ghost trapped within the confines of his own tomb in the Valley of the Dark Lords on Korriban. In 3996 BBY, his spirit was unintentionally summoned by Exar Kun and Qel-Droma with the help of a pair of Sith talismans. Ragnos then crowned Exar Kun as the new Dark Lord of the Sith and Qel-Droma as his apprentice, thus restoring the future of the Sith once again.
Before you is the tomb of the great Sith Lord, Marka Ragnos, a half-breed who possessed tremendous strength, both physically and in the Force.
In the year 3956 BBY, during the Jedi Civil War, the prodigal knight Revan would visit the tomb of Marka Ragnos during his search for the Starforge while he was undercover as a student of the Korriban Sith Academy. In his tomb, Revan found the strength-augmenting gauntlets that once belonged to Marka Ragnos. A few decades later, Vitiate, now known as the Sith Emperor, reconstructed the Sith Empire in the unknown regions and prepared to take over the galaxy in the Great Galactic War, thus following in Marka's footsteps. Almost 3,500 years later, Darth Plagueis the Wise traveled to the Valley of the Dark Lords on Korriban, also known then as Moraband, where he searched for evidence if there was life after death, as he didn't believe in it. Marka Ragnos would appear to him in vision there and challenged his claim to the Sith title. However, Plagueis wasn't convinced and believed it all played out in his mind. Now we're moving to the events based after the Return of the Jedi. 14 years after the Battle of Yavin, a Sith cult known as the Disciples of Ragnos intended to resurrect Marka Ragnos from beyond the grave and take over the galaxy. They were led by the Dark Jedi Tavion Axmus, who came to possess the scepter of Marka Ragnos, with which he would siphon the Force from many Force nexuses throughout the galaxy and empower the cultists. She planned on collecting enough energy to resurrect Ragnos in his tomb on Korriban, although it would be tracked by Jedi Knight Jaden Korr, with whom she would duel.
I shall not be denied.
By the Force.
Marka Ragnos.
A mere Jedi child will not undo my return.
That's Jedi Knight, Ragnos.
You will kneel before me, Jedi.
After a vicious battle, the possessed Tavion Maximus would be defeated, after which this happened.
No! This is impossible. I will return, Jedi. One day I shall return and annihilate you all!
This is as far as the Sith Lord Marka Ragnos' story goes. Now, just to briefly keep track of our headcanon in our videos, we don't consider the events based after the Return of the Jedi as canon for ourselves because we believe that Episode 6 should be the happy ending of the Star Wars story. This is just our personal opinion, as well as preference, which is what headcanon is for. By the way, this doesn't at all mean that we don't love the expanded universe stories after Episode 6, as you can apparently see by this video. Anyway guys, this is it on the story of Marka Ragnos, and we hope you all enjoyed it and learned something new about the vast galaxy of Star Wars. If you enjoy our content, make sure to check out our second lore channel, The Crossroads Inn, and if you want to watch more videos like this one, the links to the playlist of other Star Wars stories and videos will be down below. Also, if you want to support this channel, hit that subscribe button for more videos like this one, and remember guys, God is awesome, may the Force be with you always, and we'll see you in another video. You Rebel Scum.
This party's over.